All right, hey everybody, this is the Bachelor Pad. We are doing a shop talk version. We've got one of our regulars, Stripes, that comes into the shop quite a bit. We were talking. Ironically, we were going to do this about an hour earlier, but I forgot to lock the door. It's kind of, when you run a retail business, it's not the worst thing ever in life to have more people, but when you are trying to do something, podcasting or something creative, it is kind of cumbersome when people keep coming through the door. That was a pretty cool dude, though, the random dude from Mississippi, or no, Alabama.
Shit, my memory doesn't serve me too well, but no. Going on about just crazy people you work with.
Yeah, which we should have recorded some of that. It would have been interesting or whatever. Good convo. But today I'm going to start off with I had kind of a fucked off way of starting the day, right? You've heard a little bit about it.
A little bit.
Crazy fucked up roommates. Now the bad thing is my roommate and it's not a roommate. Half the house, is mine, half the house is his. He's my business partner through like doing real estate and in other endeavors. He's a fucking genius, right? He's a smart dude. But he is also completely batshit crazy. So to give you a quick mind's eye of how my morning starts, right? I go to sleep because I'm a fucking adult. Go to sleep. I figure I'm gonna wake up. Boom. Take my dogs for a walk. Work out. Do whatever I need to do. Make my lunch and go to work. Right? That's my plan. Generally wake up about 9 o'clock or whenever my dog needs to use the restroom. Right? So I got 9 o'clock-ish. At 5:45, 5:50. I hear bang, 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 bang. What in the hell is all this? So it's enough to rattle me out of my bed, right?
Right.
So I get up and I'm like, number one, where's my dog? Is somebody trying to break in my house? I've got a goddamn, protection guard dog, attack dog at best, right? It's a Belgian Malinois Shepherd, right? Generally, so it kind of dawns on me I just woke up out of a dead sleep. He's not barking. So now where's my dog? Where's my dipshit roommate or whatever? Where is he? So I go walking through the kitchen. I look, there's not this. I get to the kitchen. I bought my buddy because I had Grinched some of his rainbow sherbet ice cream. Mm-hmm. So I bought some and I was like, dude, if you're ever going to put shit food in the house, you need to buy like a distractionary, like a little something over here so I won't eat yours, because I feel like a dick, right? I'm not a complete Grinch, but dude, if I'm having I've been lifting a little more, running a lot more, the hunger will strike, and if it's not there, I won't eat it. I won't leave the house, but it's there. So I bought him this tub of fucking ice cream. The lid's off, the ice cream's sitting out, and there's a scoop of it on the floor.
What?
Which is not abnormal for this guy, right? He gets really, really drunk and then like either cooks or does whatever in the middle of the night. And I don't know if it's like sleepwalking or sleep eating or whatever he does, but he completely demolishes the kitchen. And I'm kind of a weird Nazi because I wake up with my first cup of coffee and I really like the kitchen to be clean, right? It's the first time I actually wake up with my coffee and go, there's a pretty kitchen, right? It's very calming to me. The first thing I normally wake up to is, what in the fuck happened here? Like a tornado happened in the kitchen. So I look and I'm like, okay, ice cream, this, that. I'm like, what the fuck? So I look, still no dog, right? So I walk over and the basement door is open. Fucking music is blaring. How I was sleeping through the music, the house is pretty well insulated and whatever, so it was kind of faint, so no big deal. Well, I'm hearing music blaring and whatever, and I pull the rest of the door open. There's my dog on the fucking steps, like looking at me, looking at him. And I was like, Scoop, get up. What are you doing, bro? And I was like, hey. I was like, what in the fuck was all that pounding? What? Oh, I was just pounding. I was just tapping on the stair, telling him to get up. And I was like, that makes literally no sense. Dude, it sounded like the house was shaking. No, it was pounding on her. And I went, any way you look at it, dude, it's fucking 3 hours before I'm supposed to wake up, right? Turn down the fucking music. What the fuck's wrong with you, right? So I'm like progressively going like here, right? I'm not really good when I get woken up out of a dead sleep. So I get my dog up and whatever. And dude, I was just tapping the whatever. And I was like, no, ass. I was like, dude, are you serious? I'm wide awake at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, fuck it, let's make some noise, bro. And I fucking slammed the door or whatever. So now I'm hot, right? And I'm like, inconsiderate fucking piece of shit, motherfucker, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's super, super intelligent, like teetering on genius, like Mensa, like top 2 to 3% of, IQs in the, he teetering on that. But it comes with a lot of them batshit crazy, right? So this happens every couple weeks. I generally get over it pretty quickly or whatever. So I fucking, I would look, and I'm looking at the ice cream. I put the ice cream away, and I'm motherfucking whatever. So I'm like, fuck, there's no way I'm going to go back to bed. I'm fucking furious. So I make my coffee, do whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just start my day early, right? And I'm just, So I grab the, the little thing that goes around where you stand when you pee in front of the toilet, whatever, the little rug mat.
Yeah.
And then the other one when you get out of the shower. So I'm like, dude, they had dog hair on them. I told myself for a couple days, I was like, I need to throw them in the washer. So I grabbed those and some towels, and I was like, And part of me knew that wasn't the noise, right? He had to have done something in the basement, right? So I go down to throw fucking laundry, and I go through the laundry in, and he's standing there playing the stand-up bass, right? Dum 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 dum. He the musician-ish, whatever, right? So he's doing whatever. And I look, and there is not like one hole punched in the wall. The wall has like from here to here and there, like hollowed out. Like he went punch and just kept punching to create like a weird divot in the wall, right?
So it wasn't full-on holes in the wall, just more dented.
No. The drywall was broken, but it was broken like every punch pushed in something to where it was gone. So I stopped and I looked and I go, yeah, so you were pounding on the steps. I go, the fact that there's gigantic holes in the wall, that has nothing to do with nothing. I was like, what in the fuck is wrong with you, bro? We're trying to fucking, beautify this house, and you fucking do whatever. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And he said something snarky, right? And I hit level, like, I'm going to fucking strangle him, right? Like, yeah. And I, twitch a little bit. I'm like, go upstairs, Jake. Like, fucking, yeah. So I go upstairs, and my mind's going and whatever. And I'm like, which sets me off into a fucking shitty mood spectrum, right? Because, dude, what do? Deal with people. What's up, bro? Hey, how was your day? Hey, what's going on? How's your Friday, right? For the first 2 hours, everyone, hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? How's your Friday going? Hey, fucking man, kind of shitty. Hey, let me tell you about mine. Fucking asshole. So now I tell everybody about my shit rag day and fucking how much of a dick box my fucking buddy is and whatever. And I get people, well, man, that's fucked up. Why would somebody? And I'm like, he's fucked up and whatever, right? And the thing that it brought me to, part of it is alcoholism, whether it be drugs or alcohol or whatever. And a little bit of mental, issues, right? Like you're either bipolar or this or that, or you're manic depressive, right? So you're either really, really high or really, really low, and then compounded with alcohol and whatever. The biggest thing was this motherfucker, right? Literally has no care whatsoever. Once he gets drinking, that I'm going to get up, that I'm going to do whatever. And we've gone at it a few times, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just say we've wrestled, and it hasn't been wonderful on his behalf. It doesn't matter. He doesn't mind pain. There's nothing you can do to him that is going to make him change his way. He's just going to, you kind of have to let it run a cycle, right? It's like getting mad at a tornado coming through. You just kind of fucking get out of the way. Tornado goes through, you kind of pick up and do whatever. But I noticed that along with the first thing today, I've got a chick friend who is breaking up with her boyfriend, and the boyfriend's kind of being a newfangled guy. We talk about it on the Bachelor Pad every now and again about guys acting more like girls, right? That, oh, you did this and that. They're super jealous. They're insecure and whatever, which used to be a female's job. Used to be the lady's job to be insecure and whatever. But her biggest problem is she went out and got drunk last night. And even though they're broken up and whatever, but you can still repair it, right? You just got to behave for a certain amount of time, right? I've had relationships like that where I just, all right, if I'm good or she's good and whatever, and then, okay, let's get it back together. And then you're good for a while, and then everyone starts acting up again. But the chemical dependency or alcohol dependency is just so rampant that when she gets drunk, she'll do weird shit and not give a shit that her dude's at home and whatever. And then, I got to look on Facebook and listen to him whine and bitch like a little girl and whatever, which makes me dislike him even more because as a guy, dude, either deal with it and whatever, but don't go on Facebook and bitch and bellyache and whatever. But I guess it kind of leads into weird roommate stories, right? Like what are the weirdest, wackiest things that roommates have done? Now, I could tell you about this guy 1,300 stories, but it would become redundant after a while, right?
Right.
He horrible fucking roommate, right? Great dude. He used to have a good amount of, he's one of the nicest guys, do anything for you and whatever. It's just that amount of time. It's still there. It's just much shorter. You might get one day out of a week where he would be nice and considerate and, hey, man, I got food on the way home, or call and be like, hey, dude, I'm going to grab burgers. You want something? Cool.
And that's the day you really think there's a problem. Like, damn, dude, you're just... What the... Did you eat something funny today? Like...
Yeah, but like, why are you being so nice? And why did you actually take the trash out and whatever, right? Oh, okay. And so in other roommate, I never know. I can't tell you when it happened that I became the adult, right? You take the trash out, okay? Mm-hmm. The trash can is sitting out by the fucking, it's got wheels on it, shit, right? We live in a fucking, civilized fucking community. It's got fucking trash can with the fucking things supplied by the city. You put it out. I put it out by the street because I seem to be the only one that knows that Thursday is trash day, right? When I get home, car parked in the driveway, trash can still sitting there. Never fucking fathomed, that never enters his mind that he should grab that and drag it up, because Jake had the fucking common decency to take it out to the street. Maybe I'll pull it up to the fucking, pull it up to the house, right? That drives me nuts. Go home, cook some food and whatever. He'll be downstairs in the basement. Kitchen trash, shit open, whatever, this and that. Fucking bowl of something. I've got a huge dog who can climb on the counter and get shit. I'm just like, wow. Come home, the air conditioning's on. Fucking sliding glass doors open, right, to let the dogs out. But he wanted to go downstairs, so we left it open. I was like, dude, you do know the air conditioning. Oh, is it? Oh, is the door still open? I'm like, oh, wow, right? So those are some of the like roommate issues, right? Never take out trash, never do whatever. Dishwasher, right? We live in a civilized fucking world. There's a fucking dishwasher. Why do you let fucking shit pile up in the sink?
Man, does that hit home with me, dude.
I mean, it seems pretty random, but how do certain people just not see this and not understand that those are certain things like, hey, I'm here, put it in. Or, heaven forbid, I put them all in and do whatever and I run it. There's no cups. So you open it, takes the cup out, but won't empty the dishwasher. Like, it baffles me how the individual cannot, or how you've gotten to this. And I know I've moved out of houses that I've lived in with this dude because we've either owned businesses together or fucking, salesman, right? But we've all worked together and it's good because, you round table at night and talk about sales strategies and whatever. But I've moved out of the house because it is so horrible. Like, dude, when is somebody going to clean this house? Like, I cook and I take my plate and my whatever and I wash it off, dry it, put it back. And I let whoever else just, hey, man, we need to have a house meeting. We need to clean this stuff up and whatever. And I guess, because, my buddy, it's his house at the time, in Texas. Well, you guys do it, right? It's my house. Just.
Which it's your own shit, your own house. You should at least take some responsibility to clean up, your shit. You make the mess, fucking clean it up.
Yeah, no.
But no.
Wake up in the morning and there's bologna slices on marble countertops just chilling.
What?
I'm like, what in the... Like, I would literally have my coffee in the morning and go, wow, what is happening
That's not
here?
a coaster.
Yeah, like, how is all this happening? Like, wow, why is there cheese on the floor? Or this. And there was a time where he got punchy and punched holes in the, whatever, in the side of the deal and whatever. So, I mean, I guess all this behavior is whatever. It's just, I would expect, some growth at that point,
Yeah, we lived together long enough. You should be able to figure out my quirks and whatnot, at least do a little bit, put a little bit of effort toward, I wouldn't say pleasing me, but at least appeasing me to the point where I'm not yelling at you all the time, or even just
or who in the right mind
passive-aggressively trying to imply, hey, clean up your shit. You'd think some people would figure it out at some point, but
no, it's very weird. And I don't know, maybe, and I was yelled at by every long-term girlfriend or fucking whoever I was with, because I would come home and cook and I would do whatever and I would eat, right? Because I worked at Ford Motor Company and I'd work from 6 o'clock in the morning. I got up at like 4:45, took a shower, drove to work, worked from 6 until 2:30, 3 o'clock, came home, dude, I'm starving, right? I've worked literally like hard, right? I'm a little bit bigger guy than the average dude. They made me do heavy lifting jobs, right? Come home, dude, I'm whooped. Make myself something to eat, do whatever, boom. I would pass out the minute I would sit down. So I'm sit on the couch with TV and just kind of doze off. She'd walk in, oh my God, why do I walk in and whatever? Heaven forbid a sock, like, didn't make it in the hamper and whatever. Like, I get it.
I mean, yeah, there's a limit. Shit, when I started college and, you know, I'm trying to hold down a full-time job and go to school at the same time, living alone, I didn't have the excuse of blaming anybody else for my messes, so I'd leave a couple plates and whatnot, and throughout the entire week, it'd get a little ridiculous, admittedly. You know, there'd be piles of dishes, you know, but there's no one to blame but me. But I know what my schedule is. I just don't really have the time. I'm not going to sacrifice, 15 minutes of my 4 hours of sleep to clean up this shit. I'll wait till the weekend. It's not a big deal to me. But living with other people, you kind of...
There's a certain amount of consideration.
Right.
But see, I've become oddly... Like, on my days off now, dude, I have dogs, right? I've got to sweep and mop the floors. I've got hardwood floors. I got to take the dust mop around, put the Murphy's oil soap, clean my bathroom, do whatever, right? Because if I have girls over, I don't want girls to think I'm a fucking scumbag, right? I'm an adult, right? If I have girls over, I'd like them to, oh, look, your house is neat or clean or whatever, rah, rah, rah. Little do you know, I just did X amount of time with it. I've got dogs that go outside, come in, they drink water out of the water bowl, put their paws in it. There's paw prints all over. It drives me crazy. But I also mow the grass. I pick up the dog crap. I did the landscaping on the front of the house. I'm doing so much to have zero being done on the other side that I guess it's one of those, it's stacking up and amplifying. Mm-hmm. But I've got something in weird roommate fashion, right? I don't know if this will lead you into anything, but if not, it's a good story. My buddy, I just went through a divorce, right? So I go through a divorce. Of course, you got to sell the house, do whatever, this and that. I'm living with my buddy, right? He's my boy. He's, dude, salt of the earth, give you the shirt off your back, dude, right? Weird, quirky motherfucker. Ironically, he's an older version of the dude that I'm friends with now that is my business partner. We buy houses together and whatever, right? So this fucking guy is an older version of him, right? So it's weird. Maybe I like weird people. Maybe I like fucking odd, quirky fuckers. Hence, maybe you're sitting here.
Well, thank you.
No, but I'm social. Right? All my friends are not social, and they're weird and quirky, so it makes it even weird and quirkier.
Did it ever occur to you that you might be the weird one?
Oh, I'm not normal. If you've listened to any of this or any podcasts or whatever, I'm not normal, right? I'm extremely highly sex-driven. I'm borderline sociopathic. I've got issues.
Borderline.
Okay, so it's probably in there. But my boy, good, solid dude, right? Love my boy. He had these weird, when you live with people, you get to know your friends a lot better than normal, right?
Right.
He will get, he's got to fall asleep watching TV, and the TV has to be up very, very loud, right? And I was like, hey, man, no offense, but, you're sleeping, whatever. Maybe you don't, you're watching, shit on war or the 9/11 thing happened, and that was, his thing. He would watch it over and over, and he had it recorded or would watch it was weird. He had a weird hang up with it, right?
It's just background noise.
And he would lay in background noise. But I'm sleeping in the room right next to it. He's got enough background noise that, dude, it sounds like the TV's on in my room and loud.
Right.
And if I went out there and turned it off, he would wake up. And I'm like, dude, I was like, you're killing me. I got to get up and go to work in the morning. I'd hate to be a drag, but I'll find somewhere else to live. No, it's fine. Well, then it progressed to Naked Man. Right? At the same time, it became a flop house because one of my buddies, he moved out from Adrian and he was staying there, right? So when he's staying there, he was dating this girl and she was hadn't been around a lot of people and whatever, very close family and cousins and whatever, hadn't really dealt with a lot of people. They come walking in one night, and she's walking past the picture window to go in, and she went, oh my God, your roommate's laying on the couch naked. And he was like, psst. No, he's probably sleeping in his boxers, whatever. It's a dude. Opens door, walk in. He's laying there with his hands over his parts, sleeping, listening to the loud super 9/11 stuff, right?
So it looks like he was jerking it to fucking 9/11.
Whatever, right? Whatever is. Look, I don't fault anyone. There's another story there about a buddy of mine who found out his porn proclivity and whatever was a little bit weirder than it needed to be. So, but we'll get into that in a second. So he's sitting there, whatever. So it comes in, And my buddy's like, man, what the hell? And he doesn't know my buddy as well as I know my buddy. He's my buddy, so it kind of piggybacked on me, right?
Right.
So as he comes in, he's like, man, what the hell? And he was like, well, here, just go in the room. And he's like, yo. He was like, man, wake up. He was like, bro, you're naked. He throws a towel on him. And he's like, oh, what? Oh, man, I was getting out of the shower and I was just turning the TV on. I must have fallen asleep. Well, then it started happening on a regular basis.
Yeah, just
he
getting out of the
became
shower.
Naked Man, right? He is the Naked Man. And I'm like, that is weird.
It's like the worst superhero name I've ever heard.
And you don't know if, like, that's a weird thing. Like, oh, I really want to freak people out. Like, kind of like a flasher, but not being a flasher because you're hiding your genitalia while you're sleeping. And who can sleep like this?
Yeah, it's almost like, no.
Like, you're sitting there and you're like, yep, here
you
comes
knew.
the car. Oh, there's me sleeping with my, my hands over my penis. So that was one thing. We went out and got really banged up, and we were drinking a lot at the time and post-divorce and whatever. Well, we're coming back, and I got my father in the car, myself, my buddy's driving, and my drunk Naked Man roommate, right? So we're driving, and my buddy is like I'm gonna puke, like this is horrible. So my buddy who's driving, we're taking side streets. He pulls over, and he's in a side street, so he starts doing the exaggerated movie turns where you like this, and every time he'd turn, my buddy's falling, like, oh, and he's like, dude, stop it, I'm gonna get sick. So he's hanging out the side of his own passenger rear door window, barfing, right? My dad can't hold on. My dad's not a big dude. He's kind of a smaller dude. And as he's doing these movie turns, I'm in the passenger seat. And I look back and I'm laughing because my buddy is now puking, right? Stop it. What are you doing? He's laughing hysterically because he's driving and he's doing it. My buddy's puking out the fucking window. And my dad is now rolling every time he turns. And my dad is laughing with the most belly laugh, childish laughter that I've never heard my dad laugh before, right? So back and forth, back and forth. And as this is happening, I'm like, oh. So we get to the house. My buddy's like, I fucking hate you. You're whatever. So he goes in the house. Well, I get a call from this girl who was like, hey, do you want to hang out? I know you said you want to hang out. Maybe we can hang out. And I was like, yeah, for sure. Here's the address. So she was like right around the block. So boom, she comes over. Hey, do you have anything to drink? And I went, oh, no. Ironically, when you see me at the bar, I drink because we're doing stuff. I never have a drink at home, right? It's stupid. I'm just not a guy who drinks at home. I only drink when events are happening. So I called my buddy real quick who lives like fucking 5 blocks over, and I was like, bro, you got some beer? I got a chick, whatever. He's like, yeah, come over and get it. So I go get the beer and I come home. So I figure everyone will be asleep. I put my dad to sleep on the couch. My buddy, he was rumbling around, but I figure he's in bed, right? I'm just going to come in. Me and the girl are going to talk a minute, have a couple drinks, see if I can't move this conversation into the bedroom, right? We get in. I look. My dad's not there, right? But I'm not paying attention. I'm like, hey, he's a salty old dog, man. Maybe he just got up and like hoofed it home or whatever. I don't know. Didn't even think about it. Walk in, we're having a couple beers. We literally crack one beer. We have a couple sips. She grabs me, starts kissing, right? And I'm like, hey. And she was like, let's go to the bedroom. And I'm like, bitch, why did I just go 5 blocks and do whatever and go get beer and go get drinks when all we had to do was to have 2 sips and go to bed? I'm like, okay, I guess I shouldn't be too mad about it, right?
Something's happening.
You're taking me to the naked place, so this is good. So she's like, okay, cool. Well, let's. She was like, hey, I have to use the bathroom. And I was like, okay, it's just right around the corner right there. She's like, oh, no. She comes out and she was like, come here. This is good. Maybe we have sex in the bathroom. I don't know. Maybe you like the bathroom. So we walk around. My buddy is naked, right? He was fully clothed when I left. He is now naked and laying and hugging like at the bottom of the toilet and laying there hugging it. Completely naked. I'm looking at his ass cheeks and I went, and I just kind of say to myself, I'm like, fucking naked. Oh my. I'm like, whatever. And she's like, I really have to pee. And I went, and you don't really want to just like hop over and pee. She was like, no. And I was like, okay. I was like, give me a minute. So I fucking reach over and I take the back of my hand and I whap, smack him on the ass. I'm like, hey, naked fucker, get up. And he's like, and I'm like, yo, on your feet, let's go, buddy. Right? Whap, I slap him on his back. Just pee over top of me. And I was like, look, I know R. Kelly is into this and whatever, but I really don't want to pee. If a couple dribbles fall on you and I see and now I develop some weird thing, I was like, I'm not willing to take that chance. You need to get up. And I go, it's not me, ass rag. I got a girl with me. Now, in wingman form, he went from passed out, like could barely talk, like his lips are like on the tile, like, which is gross, right? He's like, he looks, picks his head up and goes, oh. And I was like, come on, man, get up. And he was like, okay. He starts army crawling, right, on tile floor. And he's making the
He's squeaking.
Yeah, that squirk, and he's army crawling, and like he is motionless from his waist down. Like it looks as if he's paralyzed. I'm not certain if he fell out of a tree. Like maybe he's got some form of paralysis. I don't know what's happening, but he's army crawling through whatever, and I'm like, oh. So she now is sitting with me, and she's like, this is happening, right? And now he goes out into and it had the Pergo fake hardwood floors, and like his balls and cock are like snail trailing behind him. Like it was the human version of a snail, and it's making the I wish I could make the squeaky noise. There's nothing here to squeak, but it was making the sound, right?
Yeah.
And as he's going, he gets to like the threshold of his door, and I was like, no, partner. I was like, let's get in and close this door. I'm fine, leave me here. I was like, you're not fine. I was like, dude, I would grab your arms and pull you through. And I went to grab his arms. He's like, I got it. And he begins to army crawl. Dunk, dunk, dunk. And he gets through enough to where I push his legs in and I'm like naked ass. I'm like, God dang it. Like this, no. So I'm like, why are you so clammy? You're gross. So I push him in and I close the door. And she's like, I'm going to pee now. But I had to watch that. So she goes and pees. So I'm standing there waiting in the hallway, right? Because I just don't want anything jumping out. Like I really need to get this girl before she changes her mind. And it was weird because I met her a couple years earlier and she was like, oh, you should have talked to me that night. I thought you were cute and whatever. And I was like, and she was like, I totally would have slept with you that night. And I'm like, balls. Let's hurry up and get this over with so I can get the residual from 2 years ago that I was supposed to get. She walks out. I open the door to my room, turn on the light. My fucking dad's in my bed. I'm like, dude, the universe is cock blocking me so hard. I've got naked man. Now I got my old man on the fucking thing. And I look and I'm like, and she's like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't. I mean, he seems to be. I was like, no, fuck that. He's visiting. I was like, fuck that. I walk over. I'm like, Dad, what? Dad. I was like, get the fuck up. Oh, damn it, I'm sleeping. I was like, Dad, I got a girl with me and whatever. I was like, fucking, I thought you would have let me have the bed. I was like, not tonight, partner. I was like, let's go. I was like, come on. And he can barely move. Like, he's just rubber. I'm like, how much did everyone drink tonight? How can I still be functional? And I'm going to have sex in a minute, right? The rest of you are just like, you look like you've been shot by a tranquilizer dart, right? You look like fucking Will Ferrell on fucking Old School. He gets stabbed in the neck and and I'm like, fuck. So I'm pulling him up and he's like, God damn it, get off me. And I was like, no, sir. So I pick him up. So I walk him out and I'm like, she's like, do you need me to come? I was like, no, fucking get naked, right? Or do something, dance around. So I walked my dad down the hall and he's like, boy, you're about a son of a bitch, ain't you? You motherfucker. He was like, I was like, man, this girl went oh, God damn it, Brian. I got this. And he gets his hands off me and he's wobbling and there's the couch, right? And he's wobbling towards the couch. He takes a right step and his shin and knee hit the coffee table. And he goes, oh, face plants on the coffee table, rolls over, and now is laying on his back. Like, and all the wind got knocked out of him, like, oh. And he was like, you motherfucker. And he's cussing me out. I'm like, I can walk, sir. Cussing me out. I was like, come on, I fucking get him up, put him on the couch. I was like, I'm really sorry. Well, I'll talk about this tomorrow. I'll buy you breakfast. Maybe you won't remember it, but fucking good night, sir. So I go in. We go in. We make the sticky. We do whatever. It was ironically good sex. Had a bit of a case of Winterbush, right? She didn't ladyscape and whatever. She had a little bit of Winterbush, but she was hot and whatever. And I really wasn't in the mood with all the things that had transpired. Nah, right? Where I'm going to power through the Winterbush. So we do whatever, this and that, right? We pass out. Wake up in the morning. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that was cool, whatever. We're fucking laying there a little. I'm like, we need to do this again, right? I'm owed one from the 2 years ago when obviously I didn't finish the deal. So we go at it again, and she's like, what? And I was like, dude, in the shape they were in, nobody's hearing this. So I put on a performance because I know they're going to hear it, right? And my dad's there. Never really had sex like a room away from my dad. He did it a lot to me when he was a kid, so this was payback, right? So I do the best I can and elongate it as long as whatever and this. And I'm telling her, don't worry about it. You can go ahead and be loud and whatever. So we go at it, do whatever. Get up, get dressed, wash yourselves off. We walk out. I was like, see, that dude's door's still closed. My dad's sleeping. As soon as the door closed, good job, boy. I was like, ah. And he was like, yeah. He was like, I was looking with one eye. I was like, dude, was she around us last night? I was like, yeah, the one with the thing and whatever. Oh, she was pretty hot. He was like, right on. He was like, fucking, next time, maybe just push me off on the floor or whatever. Let me get a look at it. Whatever. I was like, ah. So we talk about it. He gets up, doesn't understand why his knee and shin hurt and whatever. Wow. And I'm like, ah.
Well, so you damn near forced me to buy a new coffee table last night.
Yeah, it was it was a. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was kind of a trip, but that's weird. A naked man roommate. This I've had more just non-cleaning, non-whatever, but we are hitting about segment time, so we'll probably stop this and we'll pick up with something else, or we'll look at having you sneak in tomorrow or whatever before you venture off to Florida. I would like to give you a weird to-do list. You're working, you're going out of town for business and whatever, kind of like a scavenger hunt, but a bachelor pad, like whatever.
Dude, I will take it and I'll do my best.
Yeah,
is all I can really say. I don't know what's going to transpire because they're work buddies. And
you were definitely not shy with the open and whatever, but I'll give you some things. Maybe we'll talk about some things I've done on out of town trips. See if I can talk you into them. What you think you can accomplish and what you can't. But all right, this is Jake and Friends, the Bachelor Pad. Thank you very much for sitting in today. I've got to go talk to a girl about a hot tub, so
yeah,
I'm 30 minutes late now. All right, this is the Bachelor Pad. Later.